All but one game is in the books from Week 13, and there were some big events that took place this week. The Eagles lost to the Dolphins, the Ravens beat the 49ers, and the Bills manhandled the Cowboys in their stadium on Thanksgiving Day. There were some things to take out of this week, and that's what we'll discuss in today's video, are the biggest takeaways from Week 13. Before I get started though, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, as all support is very much appreciated. Now with that being said, let's begin. The first takeaway is the Ravens are the best team in football. They are on a 7-game winning streak, and this team has now beat the Seahawks, the Patriots, the Texans, the Rams, and the 49ers during this streak. The MVP of the NFL is Lamar Jackson's to lose, and the Ravens will be a very tough team to beat in the playoffs. Lamar has a very impressive 25-5 touchdown to interception ratio, and has rushed for another 875 yards and 6 touchdowns on top of it. Lamar is on pace for over 3,500 passing yards and 1,275 yards rushing, which would give him nearly 4,800 total yards for the season and 41 touchdowns. Lamar is the MVP, and the Ravens are the best team in football. The next takeaway is the NFC is wide open except for NFC East teams. The 49ers and Saints are atop the NFC at the time of this video release, though Seattle could be there if they beat the Vikings Monday night. The NFC is wide open between 5 teams, and none are from the NFC East. Whichever wildcard team gets the luxury of playing the Cowboys or Eagles first round will more than likely advance to the divisional round of the playoffs, as both the Cowboys and Eagles have looked inconsistent at best this year. The Cowboys haven't beat a team with a winning record, and the Eagles just lost to the Dolphins, which says enough in itself. The Saints are 10-2 with losses to the Rams and the Falcons of all teams. They are the favorite to win the NFC in my opinion. However, if the Saints have to go to San Francisco or Seattle, I don't see them going there and winning. The only way I think they go to the Super Bowl is if they are the 1 seed and get to play home games all the way there. Their final 4 games are favorable, as they play San Francisco and Indy at home, and their final 2 games are at Tennessee and at Carolina, which are 2 relatively short road trips compared to any trip Seattle has to take. The NFC is wide open, and I am looking forward to seeing how this conference plays out. The next takeaway, and this is a hot take because it's only been 1 game, but the Chiefs may be clicking at the right time. The Chiefs came off of their Week 12 bye and absolutely smoked the Raiders 40-9. However, what may be the most impressive part about this win is Patrick Mahomes only threw for 175 yards and 1 touchdown. For a team that is stereotyped as only able to get as far as Patrick can lead them, and how they have a terrible defense and everything else in between, this was a good change to see from how they usually win games. They sit at 8-4, and their final 4 games are at New England, home against Denver, at Chicago, and home against the Chargers. They should at minimum finish 11-5, and if they can win their final 3 games heading into the playoffs and beat the 6-seeded wildcard team, then look out. Admittedly, I am a huge Patrick Mahomes fan, and if my Vikes don't win a Super Bowl, then I wouldn't mind him winning a ring early in his career to kill the narrative that he's just a stat patter or a numbers guy. The next takeaway from Week 13 is too little too late for the Rams. The Rams throttled the Cardinals Sunday 34-7 and looked dominant in every way. Taylor Rapp had a pick 6, Jared Goff threw for over 420 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Robert Woods had more receiving yards than Kyler Murray had passing yards. Unfortunately, if this game sparks a run for them, it may be too late, as the Vikings will more than likely be 8-4 after Monday night's game, putting the Rams just 1 game behind them, but the Vikings have a favorable schedule the rest of the way. The Rams still have to play Seattle and at San Francisco in their final 4 games, and with a brutal loss to the Bucs and an embarrassment from the Ravens on national TV, I highly doubt they get into the playoffs. The NFL seems to have figured out boy wonder Sean McVay just a year after everyone was saying how he was going to be the next great coach. The final takeaway from Week 13 is the Patriots are in trouble. The Patriots lost to the Texans Sunday night 28-22, but the final score does not tell how the game was played. With 4 minutes to go in the game, the Texans were up 28-9 and made Tom look uncomfortable in the pocket for most of the night. Tom ended up throwing for 3 touchdowns, with 2 of those touchdowns coming in the final 4 minutes. Since their Week 8 win over Cleveland, they have put up just 72 points in 4 games, which equates to 18 per game, and if we were to take away the final 4 minutes of last night's game, it would be just 59 over those 4 games. They are in trouble if their defense can't bail them out, as Tom Brady is clearly no longer the player he was. He is losing to father time, and this should undoubtedly be his last year as a player. From 2016 to 2019, which are ages 39 to 42 for Tom, his completion percentage has dropped from 67 to 61, and his passer rating has dropped from 112 to just 88, which is below the league average. The Pats are in serious trouble for the first time in a very long time, and I think it's time to panic for Patriots fans. The only thing saving them is, aside from the Chiefs next week, is their final 3 games are at Cincinnati and 2 home games to finish the year in Buffalo and Miami. If they don't get the number 1 seed, I think the dynasty and the Tom Brady era are officially over. With Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson on the rise, I don't see the Patriots coming back and winning and beating them in the years coming. Anyway, that's all I have for today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Again, thank you for watching, and have a great day. Let's go Vikes.